All right, you're good, mate.
Okay, welcome to our Fitter, Stronger, Faster online event, our first one online. We've done a few meetings, a few in person of these events, so it's great to jump on online. Just want to welcome everyone who's dialing in. This whole concept came about to really provide a space where we could share some amazing information on nutrition and talking about how people that are into health and fitness can really take control of their results. What we've learned is that really 80% of our results in training come from our nutrition and what we put in our body, and 20% comes from the actual physical training or that physical exertion, that stimulus. So that stimulus plays a huge part in getting our results with our training, with our fitness, with our strength. But it's really what we do in the kitchen when we get home, what we put in our body. That's what does all the heavy lifting, what does all the work. And you may have heard that saying, you can't out-train a bad diet. You may have had an experience yourself personally, or you may know someone, but we've all been there where we've been training in the gym really, really hard, or training for a particular sport or whatever that is, and putting the hours in, but just not getting the results, or even hitting a plateau and not understanding why. You know, you may feel that you're doing all the right things with your nutrition, eating well, eating regularly, blending your macros, you're getting enough protein and carbs and fats, healthy fats, but you're just not seeing the results. We've all been there. And so this whole information session tonight is showing you a way that you can really take control of that 80% and really get the results that you're looking for with your training, with your recovery, and which has a flow-on effect to your performance. So I'll just share a little bit about my story first. I know Andrew's got the slides up there. So when I started my journey on Isagenix, I wasn't an athlete. I wasn't really doing anything too physical. I was doing functional fitness, sort of CrossFit style training 4 times a week. I was working in a busy office. I was running a financial planning business in Brisbane. And while I was eating really well, I was eating all organic food diet. I was buying all my fruit and vegetables from the organic farmers markets. I was eating only organic meat, drinking lots of water, doing all the right things, doing my functional fitness. I just wasn't getting the results, but I was also really burnt out and really, really tired. I found myself not sleeping very well, stressed out with my job as well, but probably at the unhealthiest stage I'd ever been in my adult life in terms of my energy and vitality. Like growing up as a teenager, being a competitive surfer, had a really, really bad car accident when I was 19 and broke my back, broke my neck. So I've always been focused on health and keeping my body strong and healthy, but I've always been full of beans and full of energy. And most of my friends know me as being someone who was just full of beans all the time. But at this point in time, on that first picture on the left, feeling probably the unhealthiest in terms of my energy. It was a really good friend from school, and also his partner were a client of mine, Jen and Jono, that introduced me to Isagenix almost 8 years ago. Jono is a personal trainer. Jen is a physiotherapist, but Jono was saying how he had amazing results himself by using the system, the nutrition system, losing like 6 or 7 kilograms, I think, and he had the results. But the thing that sort of sparked my interest is that he was using the system with some of his clients, and while he'd be able to get his clients to a certain point with the training, it'd be just getting control of their nutrition and helping them lose those last sort of sticky kilograms that stick around the waist, that he was getting the results with using this Isagenix system. And Jen said how she was seeing great results with her clients as well. So it really sparked my interest. Like, I was originally a massive skeptic, thinking I was doing all the right things, and I didn't really believe in smoothies and shakes, but decided to give the program a go. And I'll say straight up front, my results were pretty awesome, and I've helped a lot of people get awesome results. But I just want to say that not everyone's that does the Isagenix program is going to get abs like Andrew's or Camilla's. Everyone is going at their own pace, training different times and different sorts of training, different sorts of calorie intake. So everyone experiences the results at their own pace, if that makes sense. There's no sort of guarantees that your results will be like mine. Although all of our programs come with a money back guarantee, which is really awesome. But yeah, I went on, I started the program and I wanted to test it out. So I was going to a gym in the city, in the Brisbane CBD, and one of my friends was a PT there, and I wanted him to test my body fat before I started. And so he did the body testing, and then after 30 days coming back, he's like, mate, what the heck have you done? Like, you've been coming to this gym for 7 years and you've never ever really changed at all. Like, what are you doing? And that's this middle photo. And so I dropped 6 kilograms of fat, which is like 12 tubs of butter, like that I didn't really realize I had on me. I'd gained 2 kilos of muscle, but it was really the energy that did it for me. It was like within a few days of starting the system, it was like someone reaching down inside and flicking something on that had been turned off for a long time. And I started sleeping better. My sleep was heaps better, but just the tiredness that I was experiencing had gone, and I was feeling energized. And after that 30 days, it was like winding back the clock back to my 20s and feeling that energy that they were supposed to be feeling, right? And the mental clarity was gone. My productivity was through the roof. And then I wanted to sort of see how I could keep going with this newfound energy and this newfound nutrition system. So I really upped the ante, and I kept with it. I kept training, upped my training a bit, and over 90 days, the photo in the blue shorts there, I'm the same starting weight, but I'd gone from 18% down to 8% body fat. So it's pretty similar in terms of the food intake and the training. So I hadn't really changed my training much. The only change I've made is using the energy and performance system, the Isagenix system. This photo's just over 12 months on, starting to really sort of gain some lean muscle, and ramping up my training, and feeling, extremely youthful, sort of hitting age 40 here. And then I found a passion for CrossFit, and sort of about a year and a half into starting the Isagenix journey and getting really fit, I found CrossFit and started competing in CrossFit. Here I am in a few competitions, but really pushing my body to places I never imagined in my 40s. Continuously hitting personal bests in all of my squats and deadlifts and Olympic lifts, and just getting so much fitter and stronger, and at the same time putting on more muscle. So since I started my Isagenix journey, I've gained nearly 17 kilograms of lean muscle in my 40s, which is really difficult to do for people when they reach 40 plus to gain muscle. So 17 kilograms is a big amount. So I've had an amazing result, and it was really all about taking control of that nutrition. I was a very, very busy person. I wasn't eating frequently enough. I wasn't getting the right nutrition, and I realized just how bad I'd been going once I started getting it right and taking control of it. And that's why I'm here today, so passionate about helping other people experience the results that are there. So Isagenix, a lot of people who hear about Isagenix, I suppose, hear about it as a weight loss company. A lot of people come to Isagenix to lose weight. Absolutely, probably the largest percentage of people. It really is a lifestyle company, but we do have a subculture of the company, which is all about fitness, and we do attract a lot of athletes and a lot of high-level athletes. We've got a slide here from our conference, our annual conference from a couple of years ago, with some awesome athletes on the stage. You may recognize a couple of them there. Shane Perkins in the middle, a world champion cyclist. Rico Gear for the Kiwis there. I'm sure you Kiwis will know who Rico is, famous All Blacks player. Kerry Pothast, gold medalist, Olympian, volleyball player, and all being interviewed by Nat Cook, who is also Kerry's partner and gold medalist, and also bronze medalist. And Nat, she's been a huge supporter and a huge advocate of Isagenix, had amazing results. She's helped a lot of people on the Isagenix program, and one of Australia's most successful athletes of all time, 5-time Olympian. And we've got David Jilks there, who's a really successful bodybuilder and a personal trainer, but winning all these champ titles as a bodybuilder in his 50s. So we do attract a lot of athletes. and a lot of people who are just wanting to get the results in the gym and just wanting to, get the results with their training or whatever sport they're participating in. Quite often when I'm out talking to people, people will say, "Oh, is it backed by science?" Or, what sort of teams they're putting this together. And Isagenix have an amazing team. We've got some of the most brilliant minds and brains when it comes to nutrition and science on the planet. Nutritionists, dietitians. We've got our chief science officer, Dr. Josh Plant. He's a Harvard graduated top of his class at Harvard in half the time it takes a normal person to do it. But he leads our team of scientists, and there's all this team are there blending all the current scientific breakthroughs with nature. So all of our products are backed by science and are all natural. There's some people love the research. Some people want to see the research or studies that have been done. So there's been a lot of studies done on our systems, both from a weight loss point of view and also from an athletic point of view. The one on the screen here is from the University of Illinois a few years back, testing a group of participants on the Isagenix program versus the heart healthy diet. But some of the results there, the biggest result there, which I'll point out, is the visceral fat. And the Isagenix system really helps to target visceral fat, which is that sticky fat that clings on around our organs. That's the hardest fat to lose or to shed. So you may have experienced those times in your life where you've trained harder, you've been trying to cut down or get those abs back. You've been cutting calories, increasing your output or your exercise, but you'll lose the weight off those areas that you don't want to lose the weight, but it'll stick on around the waist. And that's the visceral fat. And that's what our Isagenix program really works on and targets. So we look to put the lean muscle on the body, but remove the fat and that visceral fat. So we've got so much research there for anyone that is looking for the research. What's our next slide there, Andrew? So I'm going to pass over now to Andrew Logan. I'll give him an intro. Andrew's become a great friend over the years. He's a former physiotherapist, very successful physio, a super gun CrossFit athlete himself. He's for his height, he is super mobile. He gets up on the muscle up rings. He can bust out. For those CrossFit athletes that know Amanda, he's got a pretty awesome Amanda time. Super heavy deadlift, squats. So Andrew is a real, I suppose, he really walks the talk. He knows nutrition. He knows about the human body. He knows how to get the best out of the human body, and he's helped a lot of people over the last 7-8 years have some incredible results. So I'm going to hand over to you, Andrew.
Thanks heaps, Scotty. And yeah, thanks everyone who's jumping on and watching. Honored to be on here and chatting about all this. So yeah, Scotty's told a little bit about my story, and just very quickly, I'll tell a little bit more of it as we go. But I'm very similar to Scotty, I guess, just a busy professional, and you're trying to keep all the balls up in the air. You're trying to be, a great partner. Well, to my fiance at the time, you're trying to be a parent. You're trying to run a business and all that kind of stuff. So when my friends told me about this thing, again, I was quite skeptical, and I was so skeptical that I didn't actually take a before photo. So my photo on the left there is after my first 30 days. And, in my first 30 days, I had amazing results just as far as I lost 6 kilos. Now, again, that's not typical, but that was my results. But, just my energy at work, my sleep, waking up better. I managed to drop these 6 kilos. And that's when, like Scotty, it was wow, this obviously is working. I want to really start to push my body. So then, like Scotty, and I was already training. I was going to the gym. I was running. I was doing CrossFit, but the weight wasn't going off. And then suddenly it was. And then suddenly I was wow, I can actually start to push myself further. So I started to, really push myself. And now, as Scotty said, my deadlift was, 120 when I started Isagenix. Now it's 220. And, my back squat was 100, and now it's 160, and all those sorts of things. The performance is through the roof. And so we can be seen as a kind of weight loss program. And that's why we really wanted to jump on and talk about this. And I just want to jump in and talk about, the specific performance products and what is it about our sort of flagship products that are really great for when you're talking to people about performance. Because again, we really, we have these amazing products that so many athletes can use. And so I know for me, I don't know about any other guys out there particularly, but someone's like, do a shake program, and you're like, no, we're a guy, like, we're men, we eat steak and that's it, kind of stuff. And that was a bit of my mindset of, like I just want to eat meat. But I just obviously wasn't getting quality protein in. So the very first product off the bat is this Isoline Pro Shake. And I remember when I started, I used to eat 15 Weet-Bix. So I was doing a lot of running at the time. So I'd get up and I'd run 20K before work. And then I'd eat 15 Weet-Bix. And I'd be starving at like 9:30 a.m. And I'd be bloated too, strangely. I don't know why. But I'd sit there and I'd say to Jen, like, there's no way a shake's going to fill me up. But it's not about just filling your body up. It's actually giving your body the fuel that it needs and giving the macro and giving the protein. So one of the great misconceptions out there is when you go or you go to yoga or you go to CrossFit, you don't actually gain anything while you're at the gym. What you do is you challenge your body and you push it and you like challenge and actually do a little bit of damage to your body. And then you regrow it with high quality proteins, great carbs, good quality fats, and you give it all the building blocks. So that is why real results and performance is made in the kitchen. So for me, I was doing all this running, but then I was just putting kind of empty carbs into my body and then wondering why I wasn't getting results and wondering why I wasn't feeling better. So the Isoline Pro Shake, it's got this amazing protein that you're getting into your body. It's the building blocks. You're going to repair your body and build stronger muscles from it. Okay. Also, people talk to a lot of people who say, oh, there's carbs and my protein shake doesn't have any carbs. Well, yeah, it's not a protein shake. It's a high protein fuel for your body. So we actually need some carbs. We need to fuel the body. So healthy fats and carbs for the body, but we're not bloating ourselves. We're not putting all these extra things. So it's a great immediately post-workout drink. Okay, it's great during the day, and it's great when you're busy. And as athletes, we've got to put a lot of fuel into our body regularly. You drive a car faster, you burn more fuel. So in this case, I know for myself, I'm eating 7 or 8 times a day. And I love the fact that Isagenix covers half of that, because that just cuts half my meal prep out of the way. Now, Ionix, this is an amazing product. Now, perhaps a lot of us at the moment, we're all stuck at home at the moment, and there's a lot of stress with the kids at home, and for partners suddenly being at home when you used to being at work apart. This is just such an amazing product. But again, specifically for the performance side of things, is again, when we go to the gym, we stress our body. We challenge our body and stress it, and we push it as hard as we can. And athletes are crazy. Like, we want to push our body to its absolute very limits all day, every day. So we need something that can help reduce that stress on our body, help our body cope with all this stress. So I know for me, this is the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I have my Ionix. And then if I've had a heavy session, I'll have a second dose, because I want to let my body reduce the stress. Scotty talked about visceral fat earlier, and a lot of visceral fat comes from high cortisol levels, which comes from high stress. You see a lot of athletes who are puffy, and that was really me. I could kind of, I could run a half marathon, I could run a full marathon, I could do a CrossFit workout, but I was always puffy because I was just pushing my body so hard and stressing it so hard, plus work, plus relationship, plus family, plus financial, all the stress that we all live with. And I just had this puff around me all the time. So this is an amazing product to help that. Then cleanse, okay? I mean, intermittent fasting, it's all well before it was cool. We've been doing this for 15 years. And again, people can see cleanse as, I'll only cleanse if I'm trying to lose weight. And yes, obviously intermittent fasting is fantastic for weight loss. But this, like our supported intermittent fast that we do with the Cleanse for Life system and the snacks and all that as part of the Isagenix system, what this does is it supports your body through intermittent fasting, but we're shown that we're not losing any muscle. So a lot of athletes are going to say, oh, I don't want to do the cleanse because I don't want to lose any muscle. It's actually the opposite, right? Where you're going to gain muscle during this because you're going to really increase your human growth hormone production of your body, the natural benefits of intermittent fasting. So then when you go through and you go back to the gym afterwards, I am always feeling faster, leaner, just like I know I'm going to hit a PB the next day and I know I can get in and train harder. So I give my body a little rest. And I've been stressing, I've been pushing, I've been hammering. I let it all rest. The body is going to burn the body fat that I don't need, so I can stay, you know, dynamic and lean and fast. But I'm also going to help with my human growth hormone and get a lot of muscle gain. So Scotty had that photo of David Gilkes up earlier, Canadian heavyweight bodybuilder. And tell him he's going to lose muscle if he does a cleanse day, right? Like, look at him, he's massive, right? So Scotty and I and Michelle and Camilla are going to come on later. We've all been able to put in great muscle into our body, and the Cleanse for Life is a massive part of that. Now, eShots, okay, these are great little, I love using these as pre-workouts. So again, you see a lot of pre-workouts out there that they're going to crash your heart rate, they're going to throw you off, they're going to do all these things, okay? Isagenix eShots, they are natural caffeine boosters, so they're great to use. I know if I've got a running race, I've got one in my pocket for the halfway mark, one at the start line just before the gun goes off, and then a pocket, like get me one in the pocket to get me through the second half. If I'm doing a CrossFit workout, it's like chugging the eShot as I walk in the door. Okay, these are great ways to just give your body that little boost and push you, but you don't have the crash afterwards of a lot of the other artificial products out there. Then we've got our Nitro, which is amazing. And Nitro is like something that's got me off my eShot addiction. So I was like addicted to eShots for a while. Now I was like, now there's Nitro. It's like even better. But Nitro is like, it's taking like all the good things we've got and we're putting it into a bottle. So Nitro is really that amazing pre-workout. It's also got creatine, beta-alanine, your amino acids like taurine and all that. It's going to help with your body to prepare it for exercise. So it helps with your the nitrosine. It helps with the blood flow, so your body's ready to go when you walk into the gym. We've got that caffeine for boost. It's a little bit more caffeine than an eShot, so you're ready to go. And we're also, again, we're going to put great amino acids and proteins into our body so that we're going to get stronger, faster, and leaner and have more energy. So it's an amazing product. If you haven't tried it, you definitely want to. But again, people that you're going to be talking to, people who are looking at this system and what is it that we can offer. We can offer this amazing pre-workout amongst all the other products, but particularly AMP Nitro. When you put this in your body, you're going to feel the difference. You're going to see the difference in the results you get. And the last one as well, like the Isagenesis, a lot of times people can sort of say, oh, you know, if your shakes are so good, like why do I need to take vitamins as well and stuff like that? And a lot of the reason is because there are just vitamins that don't taste nice. Like I don't want a salmon flavored shake, but I do want to put all those omegas into my body. You know, we know how important fatty acids are for muscle repair, for brain health, all those sorts of things. Again, you're pushing your body and really pushing it to the absolute tilt. So we have this complete Isagenesis, complete essentials with Isagenesis pack to just cover the gap. So I like to talk about, you know, you've got your good healthy food, you've got your shakes, there's your nutrition, we've got the Ionix to help with the stress. Okay, we've got a couple of extra products as well to help with fat burning, to help with pre-workouts. And then the vitamins are just sort of filling in all those little gaps of anything that's been missed. And they also come in super convenient little daily packs. So I used to travel with athletes as a physio. I used to work like the ski team, and I'd be traveling around with them, and you'd see the athletes like coming down to breakfast with these massive things, and they're like plonking it on the breakfast table and stuff like that. So these are great when you're in that, you know, you're on the plane, you're in the hotels and stuff like that, and you've just got these super convenient daily packs. So the last thing I'll say, and then I'm going to hand over to Michelle, she's going to tell her story a bit as well, but we are in Informed Sport certified. So what that means is that our products are tested so that they are pure, that they are clean, and they're not going to cause problems on drug testing. So that's really what it means. So particularly if you're speaking to an athlete in America, that's the first question they're going to ask. You're like, is your program Informed Sport certified? And you can say yes. And that's something Isagenix pay extra. They don't pass that cost on to us. They just pay extra to make sure that every single product that they put out there is Informed Sport certified. It's been ticked, it's been checked. There's nothing nasty in there, and they can put that product into the athlete's hand knowing that they are safe when it comes along to testing and all those sorts of things that they have to go through. So I've been using this for sort of 7-8 years now. Isagenix has a system, and more performance products are coming in, and you can just see when we put these products in our body, we feel better, we have more energy, get a full positive reinforcement cycle where you feel better, want to train, you get the results, you get more excited, you recover better, and you just keep going around and you get more and more results and you feel better and better. So with that, I'm going to pass on to an amazing lady, Michelle. She can tell you her story as well. As you can see, she's pretty ripped, much better than me and Scotty. So Michelle.
Thanks, Andrew. That was awesome information about the program. And welcome, everyone. It's so exciting to be with you all tonight. I've been home all day with the kids at home, so it's great to be on here sharing some love with you all. So yeah, as Andrew said, this is me. This is some photos from my competitive history. I have 4 Australian titles and a world title in figure sculpting. I did overall 15 competitions in about 2.5 years, and I won 13 of those competitions. And I always like to say that in the other 2, the judges needed glasses. So yes, I had an extensive competitive history. During those times, however, I wasn't using the Isagenix system. I was doing what many people do and eating a certain amount of calories. At that time, I had a trainer who, you know, I trusted, and they gave me a program, and I didn't really do any research, or I didn't think much of it. I simply followed the program that I was given. And throughout the time, the calories got less and less and less and less and less. And whilst I was getting amazing results on the outside, I was really doing quite a lot of damage on the inside. I was not nourishing my body well. And when I was training 3 times a day, and at one point for quite an extensive period of time, my diet got down to about 500-600 calories a day, which is crazy low. And I didn't question it at that time. I did my first competition and I won that. Immediately from there, I got a sponsorship, and then I got a spread in a fitness magazine. So I was a sponsored athlete, and I kept winning. So I thought this is just what I needed to do. However, over time, it really took its toll on my body. And about 2.5 years into that time, I got really unwell. So my body pretty much just thought this is enough. I had a number of things going on, you know, fatigue and some hormonal things going on, and you know, you name it, I had it, and it just became worse and worse and worse over time. I was going to doctors, I was getting blood tests, I was just pretty much told that I needed to rest more. And it got to a point where I was pretty much resting all day, like throughout the day, and I couldn't do any more rest. And our daughter was in prep at the time, and it was actually my daughter's prep teacher that introduced me to the system. And being in the fitness industry, thinking that I had it, you know, all together, knew what I was doing, I was extremely skeptical. So I didn't think I needed this thing or this system in my life. I thought I was pretty good at creating a body that looked great. And like most people, I kind of associated health and fitness with the way that I looked, which many people do. You know, when you've got a 6-pack, people think you're healthy because you need health and fitness area, but it's not always the case. And to be quite honest, so often when people do look like that, they're really not healthy on the inside at all. And that's been something that I have seen over and over again and experienced myself. So over time, my health really deteriorated more. And then my partner, Darren, started taking our daughter to prep, and this prep teacher was very persistent, and he ended up buying a pack for me. I was horrified at the time, but I really had to ask myself, was what I doing working for me? And it truly wasn't. It truly wasn't working at all. The pack did sit in the cupboard for quite a while. I was put into this Facebook group, and there was all these happy, high-vibing people getting these amazing results. And I thought, rightio, I'm going to do this thing, and I'm going to prove everyone wrong, because I thought I knew better. I had an amazing history of creating a great body, and I thought, right. So I put the stuff into my body, and it was about day 9. I woke up, and it was just like Scotty said, someone had switched a light on. I could actually stay awake, and I felt good. And from that time on, my health has just got better and better and better. And now I'm absolutely living, in my healthiest body. And what I love most is I can have a balanced life, whereas previously I was totally consumed by counting calories, food prep, weighing food, and still doing all that, undernourishing my body. Nowadays, I can easily and conveniently ensure that I'm putting all the vitamins, nutrients, and minerals that my body requires into it with ease. I can go out and have an amazing lifestyle. I can eat out, enjoy life, and still have an amazing body as well. So what I love most about the system is that you can have it all. And, from now, I've actually coached many people to compete, and, you can get a phenomenal body while staying healthy as well. So that's what I'm passionately doing now, is sharing the program with others to ensure that we always put health first, and never jeopardize that, but also fulfill those goals of, the health and fitness and the athletic goals as well. So yeah, it's been an amazing journey for me, and my partner Darren as well, who's had a phenomenal transformation too. So together we're both, absolutely in love and passionate about sharing this amazing system. So thanks so much. And now I'm going to hand it over to Camilla.
Yes. Good evening, everybody. It's so nice to be on this call, this Zoom, this webinar tonight with you all. And haven't these stories that you've heard already just totally inspired you? I've heard them before, but I must admit I'm sitting here being super inspired and so reassured again that what we've got is absolutely unique. So the person that you see in that little black bikini there was a very burnt out personal trainer. At that stage, I was probably doing 60, 70 hours in my personal training business, and I was starting to feel really overwhelmed, waking up feeling stressed, exhausted. And I think that the hardest thing for me at one stage there was being emotionally really flat. I literally loved what I was doing. And when you have a business that's thriving, you start looking after the mother, and then you got the daughter and the husband, and it's hard to say no, and you passionately help all these people. And I think what was happening was my own health was deteriorating. I think I coped quite well. I was this PT who was all about eating clean and training and moving well, and that was my recipe for success, for optimum health. But I was getting to a stage where I was relying on about 8 cups of coffee a day. And I think the drop for me, guys, was when I lost my dad, and my family is all in Sweden. And it meant over about 4 months' time, I was traveling backwards and forwards just to miss when he passed away. And I came home, and the 6 months to 12 months after that, I really started to feel like nothing was really working for me. And it was at that stage when one of my clients gently came to me and said that she was going to do this program. And like most health professionals, you've heard of Andrea and you've heard of Michelle. I was that little skeptical, not know-it-all, but, not really thinking that what is nutritional cleansing, right? What happened, though, completely blew me away. My beautiful client, who I'd nurtured through quite a few 12-week challenges, managed to lose more weight, body fat that is, you know, in less time. So I think she lost about 6 kilos. Now that took me 12 weeks to do in the past on less calories. So that really triggered something in me. However, I wasn't that squirrel, we remember. So I was chasing around, being too busy, being busy, and my health was deteriorating. And eventually, when I saw some before and after photos, I thought to myself, what have I got to lose, right? It's a 30-day money back guarantee. And to wind you back just a little bit, I just want to let you know that 3 years into what's now a 16-year career in being a PT, I kind of knew something was missing. It wasn't just me who was eating clean and training hard and not getting the results. A lot of the people that I successfully helped lose weight and substantial amounts of weight had to always pay a price. I used to come home to my hubby and say, I just feel people have to pay a price. And what I mean by that is that they often rebounded back. So or like in Michelle's case, they had to keep reducing and reducing and reducing calories, right? If they didn't put the weight back on, I felt that they paid a price of being lethargic or tired or moody or, yeah, quite flat. And I just felt that they didn't have that vitality and spring and clearness in their face. You know, I just felt that they were always paying a price. And then I had clients who were doing, I thought, everything right and just didn't get the results. It got to the stage, out of integrity, because I was a very well-paid trainer, that I said, I want you to stop seeing me for at least 2 to 4 weeks. I want you to go get your bloods tested, see a naturopath, look at another way to get the health and the wellness and the fitness and the strength that you're looking for. So when I finally jumped off this fence, when I was at my lowest and started to take these products, I'm no different than all these guys, and that's the beauty. I started to feel a difference within about 8-9 days, right? And at that time I had done a bit of research and I learned really, really quickly that these programs, these products addresses 3 things that the normal health and wellness sector doesn't really consider. And that is that we are cutting calories from an already, you know, nutrition depleted food source in many cases. So lots of my clients were not getting, like Michelle has been saying, the nourishment. You know, the other thing that I didn't understand was that, you know, when you're stressed and your cortisol rises, you become quite acidic. And I used to be a trainer that stood up in front of hundreds of people saying, you are what you eat, you know, just eat well and train hard. But the truth is, if you're not getting the nourishment, and if you're really, really acidic, you're not going to absorb that nutrients that you're consuming anyhow. And on top of that, what wasn't addressed before for me or my clients was the response to stress. The stress in the gym, like Andrew spoke about, the toxicity in the environment, and the emotional and mental stress that goes with being just a little human being, whether you're a mum or a sister or a father or a son or whatever it is. So for me, this is the missing link, guys. I have been helping hundreds of people over the last six and a bit years, and I am totally in love and passionately help educate and inspire people to try this nutrition and see the change that it makes. One thing I know Scott's asked me to talk about is that not only do you get a result, guys, with these products, but what's really cool, and Scotty's transformation is gold in this. You can see that he's progressively, not only is he keeping the vitality and the energy and all that, but he's shaping and conditioning his body ongoing. So guys, I could talk forever. I really appreciate having had an opportunity to share parts of my story. And good evening, everyone.
Hey, Camilla, thanks so much. Thank you. And thanks, Michelle, too. Amazing stories. And look, if you do have any questions at all, reach out to the person that introduced you to this link, or perhaps if you're on the Facebook group, put a comment in the Facebook group. But we're going to wrap up now. I just wanted to say that if you are interested in any of the programs or learning more about it, just talk to the person who referred you on. It's very, very simple to set up an account, and you can order your products through our app or online and get them shipped straight to your door. It's business as usual at the moment in light of all the craziness that's happening in the world. And I'm so grateful, I know, to be able just to jump on my phone, click a few buttons, and a couple of days later, have a brown box of absolute goodness turn up to my doorstep. So yeah, checking out. Is there anything else you wanted to say, Andrew? All good. We'll catch you all very soon. Thank you.